Hello students, today we are going to study grammar topic modals. Modals can be called as modal verbs, modal auxiliary verbs or modals expressing attitudes. So, the first question is, what are modals? Modal verbs or modal auxiliary verbs are a type of verbs that indicates modality, that is likelihood, permission, ability and obligation. Some of the common modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must. They are a kind of special verbs which behave very irregularly in English. So, students, we all know that can, could, may, might, will, would, must, ought, need, these are all modal or you can say modal auxiliaries. The very important thing which we are supposed to keep in mind is these words cannot be used alone. In another way, we can say that modals are not used alone. They are always used with the principal verb that follows them. And together with the principal verb, they express, basically modals express the mode or manner of the action denoted by the verb. And what those actions can be? They express ideas such as ability or capacity, probability or possibility, permission, command, compulsion, duty, obligation and like that. So, on your screen you can see the topic verbs. I suppose you all know what verbs are. Action words are known as verbs. Fine. And we have divided verb forms in two parts, helping verbs and main verbs. Helping verbs are further divided into two parts, primary verb and another is modals. Yes, this is our topic, modals. So let us see about primary word. Let us read about primary word. Primary verbs are further divided into two parts. First is present tense and the next is past tense. Present tense includes verbs like do, does, am, is, are, have and has. And past tense includes did, was, were, had. Yes, these all are known as helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Fine, helping verbs are also known as auxiliary verbs. The next part of helping verb is modal. Modals are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, need, dare, ought, used to. So, in this video, we are going to study modals up to should. Let us go to the next part. It is main verb. So, we all know main verbs like eat, drink, run, sleep. These all are main verbs and they are regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs means that ends with ed, d or t. Sent, cooked, played, like that, this. And irregular verbs are vowel changes in past form. So let's move further. Again on the screen you can see auxiliary verbs, they change, and modal auxiliary verbs, they never change their form. Here in auxiliary verbs you have three columns, be, do and have. Be, is, am, are, was, were, being. Is, am, are is used in present tense, was, were in past, being is the continuous form of verb and been is the third form or perfect form of verb. If I talk about do, we use do and does in present and did in past. Next is has, have. Has and has and have we use in past perfect, and present perfect. Had in past perfect. Again, having is the continuous form of verb. Let's move further to modal auxiliaries. About this we are going to study in detail since our topic is modal. So they never change their form, and one thing students always keep in mind, with modals we always used first form of verb. Fine. With modals we always used first form of verb. So let's start with the first modal, can. We all know can. This is the most common used in English, and can basically shows us the ability. The very first thing when we read about word can, it means ability. कर सकता है, or you can say कर सकती हूँ. We all know. So it defines ability. So the first use of modal can is, it is used for the ability. For example, he can speak 5 languages. A person can speak 5 languages. वो 5 languages बोल सकता है. So he can speak 5 languages. He can keep awake the whole night. He has the ability to keep awake the whole night. Again, in the example which is there in front of you is, he can speak 5 languages. That means he has the ability to speak 5 languages. Next is request. So when we talk about request, can you make tea? Can you make me tea? Fine, we are requesting, we are asking someone, can you make me tea? Next use is for permission. We use can for permission. Can I use your bike? Can I use your pen? Can I go there? So these all are the things which shows us, these all are the examples which shows us that we are asking for permission. Next use is offer. Can I help you with this? We are offering some help to the person. Can I help you? Next is possibility, about which we are not sure of but might have happened. Smoking can cause cancer. So another example can be, anyone can make mistakes. So these all are the things, these all are the uses of modal can. Let us revise them. First, we use modal can for ability. This is the most important use of can. Next is, we can use it for request, permission, offer or possibility. Fine. Another modal is could. I know, after seeing the word could, we can very well see that it is the past form of can. Yes students, you are very right. Could is the past form of can. So let's read about its uses. Again you can see the first is ability, but in bracket we have written past. That means we are going to talk about the past ability of a person with modal could. Jim could run fast when he was young. That means we are talking about the time when Jim was young. At that time Jim could run very fast. Fine. So we are talking about the past time. Let us see the another example. I could play tennis when I was a kid. Again past form, when I was a kid. At that time I could play tennis. Fine. When I was a kid I could play tennis. Second is suggestion. When we are suggesting something, you could try exercising more. Fine, it is a suggestion. You could try, आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं. You could try exercising more. You could take a taxi instead of taking or going through auto or something else. You could take a taxi. Fine, understood? Next is request. See students, I have written polite over here. So it means with polite request we use modal could. Could I please have the check? Could you please give me a hand? That means could you please help me? Could you please or could I please have the check? Again we are using word please. Students, here keep in mind, wherever we are seeing word please, always use modal could or would. Fine, both are correct here. Whenever we are talking about request, that to a polite request, and using the words please, we use modal could or would. Let's come to the next use. It is permission, and that to a polite permission. Okay, we are asking for a permission in a very polite way. Could I take the exam tomorrow? Could I take Friday off? So here we have a doubt. The person can say no. So we are asking in a very polite tone. Could I take the taxi or could I take the exam tomorrow? Could I take Friday off? We are asking for the permission. If I could do that, क्या मैं ऐसा कर सकता हूँ? So next use is possibility, and here again we are talking about past possibility. He could have gotten lost. You could have called first. It would have happened that you could have called first. So again we are talking about the possibility in the past. Fine. So let's quickly revise once again the uses of could. Could is the past form of can. We use could for past ability, for suggesting something, for a polite request, for a polite permission, and for past possibility. Okay, let's move further. Here we are going to read about modal verbs will and would. Again, will, whenever we listen the word or hear the word will, we know it is the future. Fine. So the very first thing that comes to our mind when we listen or hear the word will is it is always used with future tense. Clear? And that to where? Second and third person. Yes students, you people are absolutely right. We use will with second and third person pronoun. Now, what are second and third person pronouns? Pronouns are divided as per the persons. First person, second person, and third person. First person is I and we. Second person is you. Third person is he, she, it, they. So, we use shall with first person, that is I and we, and with second and third person we always use will for expressing future tense. Clear? So let's move to modal will. Let us talk about will. Will we use for request, that too in informal way. That means whenever we are asking something from our parents or our colleagues or our friends or brother sister, when there is no formality at all, in an informal way, for that request. For example, will you lend me your book? It means we are asking this about or from our friend. Will you lend me your book? Will you lend me your book? Next is refusal, that too in negative. That means will not, won't. Present or future form of verb. I won't do your work. No, I won't do. I will not do. I won't do your work. Again, the next use is for offer in present or future tense. Clear? In present or future tense. I will watch your children today. So today is my turn to take care of your children. I will watch. I will take care of your children today. Here we are using I will. For conditional. Conditionals, students, you have learnt in class 8th also. Zero conditional, first, second and third. So here we use will with first conditional whenever we are asking for a or whenever we are having condition. If he asks me, I will help him. So you can see the sentence, it is beginning with if. So that means we are beginning the sentence with a condition. Agar. If he asks me, I will help him. So here we are beginning the sentence with if, and just see which form of verb we are using with he. Ask. It is simple present. Very good. So here we are using verb ask, which is simple present, and after comma we are using I will. That means simple future. So first conditional is when we are using first form of verb and then we are using will plus V1, or you can say simple present along with simple future. Yes. Last use I have told you in the very starting itself, future tense. We will visit Spain next month. That means it represents at, or you can say it shows clear future tense. We will visit Spain next month. That means we are very sure that we will visit. Let's talk about would. Would, again polite request. Remember when I was teaching you could, at that time also there was a word polite request, and I told you if we see the word please, we are supposed to use could or would. So again this is the same thing. For polite request we use word would. Would you study with me? Next is refusal in the past, and that too in negative form. So here you can very well see the difference. If we are using will, that means refusal for present and future tense. But if we are using wouldn't, it means it is for past tense. Refusal in the past tense. She wouldn't help me yesterday. We are talking about the past time, yesterday, right? So here we are using wouldn't, and since it is a negative form, refusal, fine. So would not, wouldn't. Next is offer. You can see would plus present perfect. Again would shows the past tense. Very good. So here we are using would plus present perfect. Has, have plus third form of verb. I would have helped you. Next use is conditional. If I will talk about modal will, so will is used in first conditional and would is used in second conditional. If I had more money, I would buy a car. Now see the formation of the sentence, students. If I had more money, that means simple past. Don't get confused that here we are using had for past perfect. No beta, here we are using had for simple past. If I had more money, I would buy a car. I would buy a car. Here we are using would plus V1. Remember modals plus V1, right? And again we are using would in third conditional also. If I had studied, I would have passed. If I had studied. Now see the difference. In second conditional it was only simple past, but in third conditional it is past perfect. Had plus third form of verb. I would have passed. Again would plus have plus V3. Okay. The next use is very simple. It is the past form of will. That means future in the past. He said that he would help us move next week. Now you will think, future in the past, how is it possible? Yes, it is possible when we talk about direct indirect speech or reported speech. Yes beta, this rule is for the reported speech. He said that he would help us move next week. So this is a sentence of indirect speech. Clear? So quickly revise the uses once again. We use will for request in an informal way. If I talk about refusal, we use it in negative form with present and future tense. If we are offering something in present and future tense, we use will. In first conditional or conditions also we use will, and when we are talking about simple future we use will. Now let's see about would. Again, for polite request, refusal in the past, offer, they have given you form also, would plus present perfect, and in second and third conditional and past tense, or you can say future in the past, I explained as I explained you before in indirect speech. Okay. Next is beta model shall. So let's quickly see what shall says. The model shall is not used much nowadays. It may still be found in formal speech and some legal documents. The most common use of shall in everyday English is in questions that offer or suggest. Shall I? Shall we? Originally, shall was used instead of will in first person with I and we when talking about future. So, if we just recap or see our last slide, here in that slide I told you that we use shall with I and we, but nowadays it is becoming a trend to say I will. We have not seen that people or anyone is saying shall I or shall we, or sorry, shall I and shall we can use in interrogative. But I shall go to market, no, I will go to market, I will come to your home. Fine, so we use these kind of sentences. I shall come to your home, no, we haven't heard even. Fine, so that is why they are saying. So originally shall was used instead of will in first person when we talk about future. Let us see the uses. Suggestions. The very first is for suggestions. Shall I get a pizza for dinner tonight? Shall I get a pizza for dinner tonight? So here we are asking, if I will do that, can I do this? Shall I get a pizza? So here we are basically asking, and or you can say questioning. Offers or helping someone voluntarily. That bag looks heavy. Shall I carry it for you? So I am offering my help. Shall I carry it for you? Next is for instructions, asking for or giving. What shall I do with your mail when it arrives? So here I am asking, what shall I do? Next is promises. You shall be the first person to know. Next is confirmation, when the statement shows the fact. I shall meet you there at 7. Fine, so here the statement shows the fact. I shall meet you there at 7. So let us see what is written in the end. In all of the examples above, shall can be replaced with another modal verb. That means it is not compulsory that we are only going to use shall with all these things. We can replace shall with another modal verbs. For example, if I talk about suggestions or instructions, we can use modal should. If I talk about offers, we can use modal can or could. If I talk about promises or confirmation, we can use modal will. Fine. Let's quickly sum up the uses of shall once again. We use shall for suggestions, offers or instructions, promises and confirmation. Clear? Next is modal verb should. If I talk about should, the very first thing that comes in our mind is it always expresses duty or obligation, or it shows us the advice. करना चाहिए. Fine. So this is the exact meaning of should. करना चाहिए, होना चाहिए. तो चाहिए shows that it is modal should. If I talk about advice, it is you should eat more vegetables. It implies in present. You shouldn't smoke. So it doesn't mean that should is always used as a you can say past form of shall. No beta. The first and the most important use is it is used for advice or obligation or duty. So in present if we are using should, it means it is either advice or obligation, or it shows us the duty. You should eat more vegetables. You shouldn't smoke as it may or is as it is harmful for your health. But if I talk about past, you got a 50 out of 100 on your exam. You should have studied more. Fine, just read the sentence once again. You got a 50 out of 100 on your exam. You should have studied more. तुमने पहले से ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करी होती. तुम्हें पहले से ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करनी चाहिए थी. Should have plus past participle. That means we are using should have plus should plus have plus third form of verb. Okay, let us talk about next use, that is obligation. It is you should send thank you notes to the friends who gave you presents. So it is our duty, it is our obligation that if somebody is helping us, if somebody is giving us something, we always say thank you. Fine. So it is our obligation. That is why they are saying you should send thank you notes to the friends who gave you presents. Next example, we should go to class every day. Again, it is a duty or obligation that we should go to school, we should go to class every day. Let's see about, or let's look for the third use, probability or expectation in past and present. It's almost time for class. Our teacher should arrive soon. That means it is the time. The time is there when the teacher should arrive. So it is the time for the class. That our teacher or the teacher should arrive soon. A ticket to New York shouldn't cost a lot. The drive should have taken 20 minutes. Why did it take you 2 hours to get there? Fine, the drive should have taken. It is only 20 minutes drive. Why you have taken 2 hours? So here again the use of should in another way. The drive should have taken 20 minutes. Why it take you 2 hours to get here? Okay, so quickly summarize. If I talk about present or past, we use should for advice. Next use of should is obligation. You can in simple words call it as duty also. In present, probability or expectation in present and past. Okay. So students, in this video 9, we have studied modals and up to modal should. We have studied can, could, will, would, shall, should. So in my next video, we will study rest of the modals. Till then, keep home, stay safe. Thank you.